Hello, everybody. Today, we are going to be looking through some Magic the Gathering cards and admiring the artwork and discussing them a little bit and rating them, giving them a rating. And the rating system we are going to be using is going to judge the quality of feet depicted in the card art. That is our primary criteria. Yes, we are going to be looking through Magic the Gathering cards that highlight feet, or in which bare feet appear. So, my apologies for that. Anyway, I don't want to take too long to get into this. We gotta jump into the ratings, but I'll just preface this by saying that I do not play Magic the Gathering. I have never played Magic the Gathering, but I've always had a bit of a soft spot for it because my older brothers played Magic the Gathering. And while I never learned the rules, I always enjoyed the cards. I liked looking at the cards, looking at the illustrations, and reading the flavor text. Magic the Gathering has some pretty great card art. And that's just about all the preface that we need here, I think. Let's go ahead and jump into some cards, and I'll say these are just kind of a random assortment of cards I found online. They are alphabetized, and generally from the earlier part of the alphabet. I didn't get too far in because there's hundreds of cards. I think I have about 80 here that we're going to look at. And, what else? Anything else? Yeah, that's about good. Let's go ahead and jump into rating Magic the Gathering cards based on the feet. And let's go ahead and start with Ad Nauseam, our first card. So we can see here what looks to be a zombie or some kind of undead construct man. And indeed, he does have his bare feet exposed. He's kneeling on a bunch of papers. Oh, and he's got little like paintbrushes, I think, attached to his stump wrists. And the flavor text says, "When the task spilled over into undeath, he stopped calling it his life's work." Oh, that's cute. Oh yeah, and I haven't really looked at these too carefully beforehand. Just kind of swept through them to filter anything that was kind of uninteresting or shouldn't be on YouTube, I guess. But yeah, most of these are going to be kind of new to me. I didn't look at anything too closely. This one, it's not a strong start. We do get to see the soles of his feet, but they're kind of far away. They're not taking up much of the image. So I'm going to give this a 4 out of 10. 4 feet out of 10 feet. Alright, let's move on. Next we have Adipose Offspring. These are cute little guys. I don't really know what these are. They're just, I guess if they're adipose, they're just little lumps of fat or something. But in terms of feet, they're not that impressive. We get a little bit of toe action there on the left, and then the one foot is taking a step, but all in all, it's not really diving into the feet very heavily, so I think this is even worse than the last one. I'm going to say this is, I'm going to give this 3 toes out of 10 toes. Alabaster wall. Its mortar is mixed with waters straight from the fountain of Cho. So I like this art. It's a kind of pretty sunset. I like the lighting and the framing and such. In terms of feet, it's very classy. The feet don't take up much of the image, but yeah, again, it's refined. It's very classy. It's tasteful. So I'm gonna give this 6 little steppers out of 10. Okay. Ancestral mask. This is a creepy thing. Kind of ancestral mask. This is of course the source of the Jim Carrey film, The Mask. The masks, like the ancient trees they're grown from, lend strength to the dryads. We get the active feet here. They're not really highlighted in the image at all. This is kind of middle of the road. I'm not very impressed. I'm gonna give this 4 out of 10 feet. Alright, here we have Angel of Vitality. Seems to be a nice angelic lady descending from the sky or something, far above the ground. And the feet are they're here. They're certainly here. Again, it's not really highlighted, and with the feet taking up such a small part of the frame, it's hard to rank it too highly. So I'm thinking, I don't know, this is kind of middle of the road. We'll give this 5 out of 10 stompers. Okay, Angelic Page. These draw your eyes a little more here, I'd say. This is a little bit better. We're still with another angel. I guess because it's alphabetized, if there's any other angels, they're going to be in this section as well. If only every message were as perfect as its bearers. Yeah, we get good side view of the ankle. It's really, good. We get the calf, kind of flexed there. If, I don't know if that's breaking the rules to extend above the ankle, but, I think this deserves to be at least a 6. I'm gonna give this 6 out of 10 bare feet. Here we go. Alright. Now this is a foot. This is the ankle shanker. And it says, the stature of the fighter matters less than the depth of the cut. So, here we get a little goblin, and it's got those hairy legs, but the feet are themselves bare. We get a nice action shot, we get a good view of the toes, so I think this is easily a 6, probably a 7, but actually, he's called the ankle shanker, so I guess he's stabbing people in their ankles, and I've got to take a point away for that because, he's destroying feet, he's marring their beauty, so I'm going to give him a 6 out of 10 wounded feet. Oh, that's kind of cool art. This is sort of Egyptian. Aven Initiate. So, this is just I'm enjoying looking at this. This is like an ibis bird person with the long wings and the long neck. That's a cool character. In terms of the feet, it's a good action shot on the feet. You know, I like how the legs are posed. But the feet are also pretty small. I'm gonna give this a 5 out of 10 bird feet. Oh boy. Here we have a very lightly clothed man. The Balduvian shaman. And I'm just gonna go ahead and rank this 7 out of 10 bottoms pressed into souls. Good for him. Okay, now we're talking. This is really something here. The Beanstalk Giant. Okay, so kind of cool art. I like the, I guess this is sort of a riff on like Jack and the Giant Beanstalk, right? Except in this case, the beanstalk is literally a giant. It gives a new meaning to giant beanstalk, I suppose. But we get one prominent foot, and the eye is kind of drawn to it, so that's that's got to be highly valued. I think this is I don't know if this is worthy of an 8, because we only get the 1 foot, but it is very prominently displayed. I'm going to go ahead and give this a 7 out of 10 giant feet. Looks like we have another giant here, Belluna Grand Squall. And, this is, the feet aren't bare, but they're kind of hinted at, right? You've got the kind of ribbon-like straps leading up the calves, so it's kind of a tease, right? Like it's building anticipation, I suppose. I think I can't give full credit to not bare feet. So while this would be a very good photo if the steppers were bare, I've got to give this 5 out of 10 sock-covered feet. Here we have the Bereaved Survivor. Okay, this is pretty good. I think you got the feet down in the dirt, but they're kind of highlighted because of the dark colors of the dirt and the clothing around it. So they're sort of a focal point of the image. Your eye is kind of drawn to them. The flavor text says, "With Avacyn gone, I no longer knew who to pray to. Alone, I wept for a sister who would never return." Well, now I feel a little bad about objectifying some feet in the moment of their bereavement. But this is a pretty good foot photo, so I'm gonna say this is, I'm gonna give this 8 out of 10 tear-stained toes. Bird Maiden. I like this image. It's fun, dynamic, colorful. In terms of the feet, they have a good, good shape, good silhouette. But they're kind of far away. The flavor text says, "4 things that never meet do here unite, to shed my blood and to ravage my heart, a radiant brow and tresses that beguile, and rosy cheeks and a glittering smile." The Arabian Nights, translated by Hadai. Is that an actual quote from the Arabian Nights? I've never read them. choice, I guess. This is okay, but, the feet are so, blink and you miss them. They're really not a prominent part of the image, so I'm going to give this 4 out of 10 bird feet. Here we have Blood Artist, and there's not really any feet in this at all. I mean, I guess presumably there would be some feet in the painting, but I don't see them. Yeah, I have to give this the lowest score. I'm giving this 1 out of 10 planter's warts on the bottom of your foot. 1 out of 10. Okay, here we have Blood Baron of Viscopa, and he doesn't have bare feet. Oh, okay, off to the right. Off to the right we have what is that, it's a person in a bird cage or something. The foot is, it's nicely shaped. It's a great foot, right? I mean, we're not gonna knock the foot, but the art is doing everything it can to distract you from that foot. So I'm gonna have to give this 3 out of 10 feet. Yeah, that's as good as I can do. Okay. Here, whoa, okay. Now we're cooking. This is something. Here we have the Bone Knitter. Nothing comes together as easily as it comes apart. So, here we have a foot prominently displayed. Your eye is really drawn to look at it. And it's got the toes kind of splayed out. You see the sole of the foot, all the creases and folds. I mean, this has got to be, I think, 8 out of 10 rotting zombie feet. Yeah. Here we have Boomerang. Okay. Return from whence ye came, Edmund Spencer, the Fairy Queen. So this guy, first of all, that's quite the head he has on him there, looking like Kaidai Mundi. Yeah, the foot's okay. I mean, we see the sole of the foot, and I think that's worth some bonus points. But the head of the character is really what you're drawn to here. And I don't know, the foot is kind of playing second fiddle. So even though it's a good foot, I don't think I can do any better than 5 out of 10 feet. Yeah, 5 out of 10. Here we have Brass Claw Orcs. The large brass claws worn by some Sarpadian orc tribes were among the least feared weapons ever known. Sarpadian Empires, Volume 4. Okay, we have one foot here. It's good, it's great art of a foot, I would say, but again, the rest of the image is just trying to steal the show. But the foot itself is phenomenal, high marks on the foot, so I think on the quality of the foot alone, this is going to have to get up to 5 out of 10 orc feet. But, if we had a second foot, or if this foot was a little more prominently displayed, there's easy room for improvement. Okay, here we have Chained to the Rocks. Okay, we've got 2 feet here. It's a good dynamic pose for the feet. One of them is just kind of resting on the rock, and the other one is pressing in with the toes. So, we love an action shot for the feet. We love a foot to be doing something, not just, lying there like a dead fish. And high quality feet. They're uncovered, so I think this is worthy of 7 out of 10 feet chained to rocks. 7 out of 10. Chance encounter. What are the odds indeed? Yusri to Desira. Okay, so we've got like demon representation or something here with this demon that's got bare feet, or a devil or an elemental, I don't know. But you know, the feet are there, but they're not prominently displayed. They're not highly detailed. You can't even really make out the toes. The arch of the foot is covered by some sort of wrap of the pants that goes, down below the sole. This, to me, it's not offensively bad, but it's really not worth it. I'm gonna give this 3 out of 10 demon feet. Ooh, this guy's weird. Okay, here we have Collector Ufe. He steals power from treasure after treasure. And what does it do for Ufe? Nothing. Joyra. Okay. Yeah, this is another low-ranking one for me. The feet are there, but they're not very detailed, not prominently displayed. They're not getting their due. Frankly, the feet are being disrespected here, I would say. So, I'm going to have to give this 3 out of 10 creepy, like troll, weirdo feet. Commando Raid. Okay. Now we're talking. So, this is pretty good. I like that it's very highlighted. It's using high contrast highlights and shadows on the foot. So it's really emphasizing the shape and the musculature of the foot. It's facing, right into camera. It's one of the closest things to the camera position. So it's pretty well displayed. Draws the eye. There's a lot of other stuff going on, so the foot isn't getting a ton of love. But I think this is easily. I'm gonna give this a 7 out of 10. 7 out of 10. What is that? A goblin? 7 out of 10 weird goblin guy feet. Oh boy, okay, we've got a winner here, guys. Cyclopean Snare. The spoiled, gluttonous halls of the Orzhov teem with gaudy, needless wealth. Even their security measures are made for beauty first, efficiency second. So, here we've got a foot stepping through a laser beam tripwire thing. And the foot is very articulated. The toes are splayed. The big toe is kind of pushing forward. We've got a great arch to the foot. I mean, this is high quality work. Obviously we're missing a little bit of the foot. We could have a more full picture of it. But this is the first image that really kind of gives the foot the attention it deserves, I would say. I think there's a bit of room for improvement, but to me, this has got to be a 9 out of 10. I'm giving this a 9 out of 10. Tripwires being set off by bare feet. Okay. Death Wish. He wished for power, but not for the longevity to abuse it. Yeah, never, gotta be careful with wishes, right? So, and like this, we have I guess a genie of some kind, granting a wish and hunkering down on his feet. And the feet have a great arch to them, a great positioning to them. They're like two solid tree trunks emerging from the ground. I think that's a great foot image. I think this is worthy of, it's at least a 6 out of 10, but there's something about it that I think to me is just pushing it up to a 7. I'm giving Death Wish 7 out of 10 genie feet. Deep freeze. For cryomancers, studying the Ice Age isn't just an academic exercise. So, this one, I think the foot is pretty prominent. It is one of the only parts of the goblin's body sticking out of the ice, and so your eye is immediately drawn to it. It is upright, so we see the sole of the foot and the toes. It's a pretty good foot image, I would say. I think this is, given how little else is going on, the foot is one of the only things really to look at. I think this is probably an 8 out of 10. I don't love this image, just sort of that je ne sais quoi. It's just missing something for me. But I'm going to give this 8 out of 10 chili toes. Okay, Deep Cavern Imp. Yeah, I mean, the feet are here, but they're kind of covered up by the hand. They're concealed in the shadows. It's not a very good foot image. I think this is either a 2 or a 3. Yeah, I don't think this is doing it for anybody. To me, this is a 2. I'm giving this 2 out of 10 scraggly, hairy imp feet. Okay, Demonic Embrace. So, what's exactly going on here? I'm having trouble parsing this image. I see a foot, and I see... Oh, okay, wait, I see. So there's a woman falling downwards, and her feet are up. Does she have wings? I guess she has wings. Although, why is she, why would she be falling like that if she had wings? I don't know. Anyway. The foot is lit well. There's only one. And, I don't know, I think the chaos of the image, for me, I just had trouble parsing the image, and I think that distracted from the foot, so... For me, I'm going to give this a 5 out of 10 confusing feet. Alright, we have Diamond Fairy. That such delicate creatures could become so powerful in the embrace of winter is yet more proof that I am right. Haidar, Rhyme Wind Master. Okay, very shapely feet, very kind of bony, with long nails. They're good feet, very solid feet. So I think this image deserves... a 6 out of 10. The feet are a little small off to the side, but they're good feet. So 6 out of 10 diamond encrusted feet. Oh boy. Yikes. Okay, the feet are not, this is not for us. We're feet lovers here, okay? This is clearly not concerned with the feet, so I'm just gonna say, 3 No, this is, I mean, that foot is hardly even visible. I'm giving this a 2 out of 10. 2 out of 10. Tied up feet. Elvish Piper. Elvish Piper, Elvish Piper. From Gaia grew the world, and the world was silent. From Gaia grew the world's elves, and the world was silent no more. Elvish teaching. Okay. Okay. Yeah. I like the kind of natural setting here. It's very relaxing. There's like a little bird there. A couple of them actually. But elf is playing on the pipe. So to me, this is a very good foot image. I'm going to give this 7 out of 10 elfish toes. Whoa, big foot, guys, big foot. Okay, we've got Fangorn, Tree Shepherd. I am an Ent. Fangorn is my name, according to some. Treebeard, others make it. Okay, so the foot is obviously a highlight of this image. It is sort of a monstrous tree foot. But I'm not here to knock it for that, you know. We welcome all feet here, not just humanoid feet. So, I'm gonna give this 8 out of 10 root-covered tree feet. Good job, Treebeard. Yeah, okay, this one is the Feasting Hobbit. His name, of course, was Proudfoot. Alright, so they even address the feet in the flavor text. Yeah, this one has got to be probably an 8. I don't like the lighting. The lighting is doesn't feel like it matches the scene to me. Like he's just had this big feast, but the lighting is like he's in a dungeon or something. So, a very good foot image, but the lighting kind of holds it back, so I'm going to give this an 8 out of 10 proud feet. Foul Strike. That's good art. Very funny. With a resounding wallop, the ancient battle between Buzzard and Druid was finally finished. Yeah, the feet are here, but they're not really doing much. Good activity on them, but I'm gonna give this 3 out of 10 big bulging buzzard eye feet. Frenetic Ogre. The best thing about ogres is that they never try to sneak up on you. Okay, so this one, I think it seems like it's a good foot image at first, because the foot is kind of right up there. But I don't know, the more you look at it, it's the rest of the image is really calling attention away from it. But, you know, you gotta give credit where it's due. So, this to me is a 6 out of 10 ogre feet. Frodo, another hobbit, which makes sense because hobbits walk around barefoot. Okay, so this one is just not a good foot image, frankly. There's technically a foot there, but it's so hidden, and it's not doing it for me, it's not doing it for you, it's not doing it for anybody, right? So I've got to give this 2 out of 10 hairy hobbit feet. Frost Titan. Okay. one foot is hidden away, so that's a ding against it. But the other foot is shapely and, well formed, so, I don't know. There's just not much going on in the image. The foot really doesn't draw your eye. I've got to give it credit for being there, but to me, this is a 4 out of 10 at best. 4 out of 10, chilly, snow-covered feet. Here we have the funeral pyre. Raise the body, raise the soul, mystic elder. Okay. So, the feet here are pretty good. They're very dirty, bare feet, right? So that's, obviously that's a point in favor. We all love dirty feet, right? But, the funeral pyre is, they're about to burn him, right? They're about to burn those feet, and that's not very good. Also, they're dead feet, which is kind of unappealing. So to me, for a few reasons, this gets dinged, and I think in the end, it's going to come down to just kind of middle of the road. I'm going to give this a 5 out of 10 burning feet. Okay, here we have Gaia's blessing. So, I like this image a lot. This is kind of very well composed, and I like the just the imagery here. This armored knight, standing in contrast to the very vulnerable, naked figure draped over his back. Kind of a cool contrast there. Yeah, the feet are there, but they're really not. Your eye is so much around their heads, and the contact of her onto his shoulders. It just, to me, the feet are, again, they're playing second fiddle. They're really not the star of the show. So, I really like this art, but I'm gonna give it 4 out of 10 bare feet. Okay, here we have a Ralph Bakshi depiction of Frodo. Or is that Bilbo? I've never seen the Bakshi Lord of the Rings. This is probably Frodo. So, it's Gandalf, friend of the Shire. And we've got the oversized hobbit feet there. That's worth something, right? So I think I don't know, they're so out of the way, but I think this is a 4 for me. This is 4 animated hobbit feet. Let's go. We've got frog feet, y'all. This is Glarb, Calamity's augur. So, we can only see the one foot, and there's, the rest of the image is really more interesting. But I think this is, for the novelty of it being a frog, and just for the quality of the art, I'm going to have to give this a 5. I'm giving this a 5 webbed toes out of 10. Okay, this is a fun image. Goblin Goon. Giant-sized body, goblin-sized brain. Yeah, in terms of feet, I don't know, I know that I said we weren't restricting it to humanoid feet earlier, but these little like creatures here, these little frog things, they don't count to me. Yeah, this just to me is not really a foot photo, so I'm gonna give this 1 out of 10 hopping frog feet. Goblin Chirurgeon. which is an antiquated term for a surgeon. Okay, so he's cutting off that goblin's foot. Perhaps goblins are good for something after all. General Kurzog. Yeah, okay. I mean, I'll give it, I'm gonna give this some credit because, it really is highlighting the feet. Specifically the one that's being cut off. And if you look in the background, you can see a shadow of another foot. I believe that's what that is. So, yeah, it's not a great foot glamour shot, but the foot is a major part of the image, so I think this deserves to be a 6 out of 10 chopped off feet. Goblin medics. There's a lot going on here. Oh yeah, but there's a big foot. First, do some harm. Oath of Goblins. And of course, that's a little joke on the Hippocratic Oath. First, do no harm. Yeah, I mean the foot is very well displayed. It's a very chaotic image with the colors and the actions and stuff. So the foot gets a little lost, but gotta give it credit for being there. This to me is a 5 out of 10 goblin feet. Yeah. Goblin Swine Rider. May you get the mount you deserve. Suk Ata Curse. Okay, this is pretty good art. I like this. I like how these goblins are drawn, and the pig looking very overburdened. And in terms of the feet, I mean, this is a great foot photo. I gotta say, it doesn't seem like it would be at first, but when you really hone in, you see at least. Yeah, there's 3 feet there, and they're all contorted and twisting and wrinkly and dirty, and come on, I mean, who doesn't love that? So, this to me is like, I don't know, I mean, the feet are, there's a lot of other stuff going on. I'm gonna give this an 8 out of 10 swine feet. Okay, we have Greywater's Fixer. Yeah, this one hardly counts, really. I mean, he's got the feet up on the desk. But hey, that counts for something, right? I mean, that's like a power move, you're throwing the bare feet up on the desk. That's pretty rude. I mean, it's rude to do it even with your shoes on, but to do it with your bare feet, like that's gotta be worth a point, right? I think I would give this a 2 out of 10 normally, but I'll give it a 3 out of 10 because of the boldness of having the bare feet on the desk. 3 out of 10 lizard feet. I like that art, by the way. It's like a lizard bounty hunter or something. Kind of cool. Growth Spurt. More to love. Friendly, nature-loving, Bunyan-esque SEM seeks SEF, looking for a huge commitment. Okay. Well, the feet are growing bigger. So for some of you freaks out there, sorry, not freaks, no judgment zone. For some of you delightful, wonderful people with certain predilections towards growing. Why am I doing this? You might like that growing foot, so for your sake, I'll bump this up a point. I think for me, you know, it's a 5 out of 10, so I'll give it a 6 out of 10 for the growing factor. 6 out of 10 toes that are suddenly getting much larger. Woo, spicy. Gwendolyn D. Sorcy. Urborg became the final resting place of many swordsmen of renown, their steel outmatched by the wiles of Gwendolyn. Yeah, I mean, there's 1 foot there. It's fine. I think it's probably a 7 out of 10 for that. For that foot. Right? Is that too much? I'll give it a 7. That's fine. I think the artist is clearly trying to draw your eye to other parts of the body. So 7 out of 10. Unusually underdressed feet. Heart Warden. In Llanowar, we tend the forest's boughs and branches. In Yavimaya, we are a part of them. Row fellows of Llanowar. Okay. Yeah, there's a foot there. It's kind of blending in. I don't know. It's a well-drawn foot, but it's just not speaking to me. It's like the artist was trying to hide the foot. I think to me this is a 3 out of 10 underrepresented feet. Hill Giant. Hill giants are mostly just big. Of course, that does count for a lot. Okay. I don't know much about Magic the Gathering, but I know the mana colors, and that's red. That's like fire, right? What does a hill giant have to do with fire? Anyway, that's not the mystery we're here to solve today. The feet are on display. They're well drawn. They're big, right? It's a giant feet. But there's nothing in the environment to give you scale, to really feel how big the feet are. So I think that's kind of a missed opportunity. But, you got to appreciate the fully displayed feet. So I think this is a firm 7 out of 10 hill giant feet. Sorry, I'm laughing. I didn't expect to see something actually like biting toes here. Okay, this is the Hobble Fiend. Bedbugs aren't the only things you need to worry about biting you at night. Yeah, apparently not. Okay. So, on the one hand, this is a piece of art where the feet are a focus, and it's about something biting them. Which I think earns it some points, but at the same time, the feet are really not fleshed out in the art. They're kind of hidden by the claws of the creature. They're just not really taking center stage as you might expect. So, weirdly, even though this is a piece of art, or if you read the commission that said, a little creature biting some toes, you would think, oh yeah, that'll be a great foot image. I don't think it really works as it appears here. So, to me, this is shockingly, I think, a 3 out of 10. I mean, the feet just hardly even look like feet. It's a shame. It's a crying shame. Yeah, I'm giving this 3 out of 10 obscured feet. Intervene. At first, I simply observed, but I found that without investment in others, life serves no purpose Karn, silver golem. Okay. Yeah, we've got the feet of these little jumping creatures here. They're kind of small, but they're good feet, unique feet. I think, I don't know, they're so small, it's hard to rank them highly. I've got to give this 4 out of 10. Tiny little feet. Kick in the door. We tried your way. Now we do it my way. Jim, Barbarian of Baldur's Gate. It's kind of appropriate for a barbarian to be named Jim. Okay, so I'm looking at this, and this to me is just a wasted opportunity. This would be one of the best foot images we've looked at, maybe the best, if she weren't wearing shoes. But tragically, she is, and I don't know. I mean, is it even a foot image if there are shoes on? I don't think so. At least shoes that are covering the whole foot like this. So, to me, this is tragically a 1 out of 10 shoe covered foot. Very sad. Wasted opportunity. Okay, we've got Kitchen Imp here. Kind of funny little pig-headed imp. Order up. Ooze, aspic, and jellied anurid eyes. Okay. Yeah, the feet are not prominent here. This to me is, well, you have the toes. The toes are poking up over the side and they're kind of highlighted. But they kind of blend in with the light of whatever it is that they're resting on there. I think this is a 4 out of 10 little pig toes. Kith, kin, great heart. Sometimes a curious giant singles out a little one to follow for a few days, never realizing the effect it will have on the little one's life. Okay. This is nice because we get the scale of the feet. We see a regular person and see how big the feet are in comparison. But the feet are so obscured that we lose a lot of value there. And I think at the end, once you factor all that in, this kind of comes down the middle of the road. I'm going to have to give this a 5 out of 10 big old giant feet. Leonin Dengard. No one under the 4 suns can elude the watchful eye of the Dengard. Yeah, if you're into, like, cat people, I guess, this is a pretty good one. But, it's not really highlighting the feet. So, I think this is another middle of the road. I'm giving this 5 out of 10 cat feet. Living lectern. Okay, this one's kind of cute. A little animated lectern creature thing. Yeah, the feet just kind of look like animal feet, so it's not much doing it there. I'd say this is like a 2 out of 10 lectern feet for me. It's just not really like the feet are there. I recognize that they're there, but it's just not worth much. For it to be these little, like, weird animal paws. We're not interested in paws, we're interested in feet. Okay, Lobelia, Defender of Bag End. She doesn't really look like a hobbit. She looks like a goblin. Yeah. Lobelia of the Sackville Bagginses, if I remember correctly, from the book. in the movie. I think she is mentioned in the movie as well, actually. But I guess this is at the end of the books during the scouring of the Shire. Yeah, I don't know. For a Hobbit, I would expect a little better. You got the hairy patch on it. I don't really like how the art depicts the hairy foot there. It's just, it looks like a woolly bear has crawled onto her foot. Yeah, I don't really like this one. I've got to give this, I don't know, I mean, the feet are there, so I'll give it a 3 out of 10 weird-looking hobbit feet. Lotho, corrupt sheriff. Whatever is wrong in the Shire, Lotho will be at the bottom of it. You can be sure of that. Pippin. Yeah, just after seeing that hobbit, the feasting hobbit from earlier, I expected better from the rest of the hobbits, but they've all been kind of disappointing. This one, I mean, the feet are barely there. They're super dark. I'm giving this a 2 out of 10 obscured hobbit feet. Very sad. Miri's Guile. Hannah was astounded. Miri read every leaf and wisp of breeze, like a book of ancient lore. Yeah, it's not really impressive. I'm more impressed by her thigh. But yeah, in terms of the feet, there's not really much to see here. So I think this is like a 4 out of 10. 4 out of 10. Thick thighs. Yeah. Necropolis Regent. Yeah, these are kind of blink and you'll miss them feet over here. Gerard fancies himself king of the Undercity, but he's merely king of Rot. Yeah, this one is like, I don't know, you technically meet the requirements of having feet, but it's not really there, you know, not spiritually. So, this one I am going to give a 2 out of 10 Necropolis toes. Nettling Imp. Yeah, okay. We can work with this, I think. The feet look like they're kind of rubbing together. There's obviously a lot of other stuff going on in the image. The feet aren't really the highlight, but I think as it is, I'm going to give this a 7 out of 10 little red imp toes. Nimbus Naiad. It's kind of cool. Is she giant? She looks like a giant. Something about the framing. Anyway, there's only one foot. The other one is hidden. It's a dynamic pose, but I don't know. I just think I don't know. It's a good foot, right? It's a good foot. We gotta give credit where it's due. But it's far away, and we only see one, so I think this is maybe just above middle of the road. 6 out of 10. Wet feet covered in salt water. Ooh. Here we have a rather sultry man. Oko, Thief of Crowns. Okay, so it looks like his foot is behind the text box, but, can't really see that very well. And the other foot is very heavily obscured, so maybe if you got the uncovered art, this would be a good foot pick, but I've got to give this 2 out of 10 sexy goth dudes. Orim's Cure. Oh, it's kind of a funny image. The one guy's just like, I'm gonna cut that foot off, and the woman is stopping him. Yeah, I mean, this is okay. It's just kind of it's very simple. You know, I don't think anyone's rushing for this one. But it's not offensively bad. It's not hiding the foot or anything. So I think this is unimpressive. But I can't go lower than a 3 out of 10 injured feet. Orochi Ranger. Those are that's a crazy little stepper right there. The young come to me confused. They have been taught to respect the kami, and now they must fight them. I do not know what to say. Sachi to her father. I'm a respecter of two-toed feet here. It's kind of an interesting, like, reptilian foot sort of thing going on. And it is pretty prominent. So I think this to me is, I'll give this a 7 out of 10 two-toed reptile feet. Yo, guys, we have the Polis Crusher. The Polis Crusher. I mean, I don't know, can I... 10 out of 10 springs to mind, right? But I don't think it really is a 10 out of 10. Because a 10 out of 10 is like, there's nothing to improve upon. And I think the lighting here could highlight the underside of the foot better. If we had a better look at the underside of the foot, and it was highlighting all of the creases and the folds and the musculature and such, then I think this would be a 10 out of 10. But as it stands, I have to give this a 9 out of 10 giant monster feet. Popular entertainer. Okay. The last thing anyone would describe you as is shy. You love the spotlight, and it loves you back. Yeah, well, you know, we like the dynamic poses, we like the action shots, and these feet are certainly dynamic, and they're pretty well highlighted, I would say. They're closest to the camera of the body, so that's definitely worth something. But they are a little small, so I think, I don't know, 7 or 8. 8 feels a little high for this, especially because there's some wrappings on the feet that cover them up a little bit. I'm giving this a 7 out of 10 acrobat feet. Ravos Soul Tender. Okay, so just sort of a handsome fella here. Says he's a human, so I thought he was like an angel or something. Yeah, well, his feet are not very impressive, are they? Just kind of hidden away at the bottom of the frame. I feel like this is 5 out of 10, right? I mean, those feet are very concealed. Yeah, I think this is 5 out of 10 star speckled souls. Here we have Revive. Even what is lost beyond recall returns when coaxed by a dryad's hand. Alright, these are great feet here. Very nice poses. Very dynamic, flexed. To me, this is an 8 out of 10 green dryad feet. Here we have the River Darter. Are those even feet? Yeah, I guess they're way in the background there. Oh, it's those giant, there are giant, like reptilian feet on either side of this swimmer. I see. River darter can't be blocked by dinosaurs. Seems like a very specific ability. Again, not that I've played Magic. Don't make splashes, make progress. Tishana. Yeah. Well, I think there are feet in the back of the swimmer. But they're so obscure, it's really hard to see. This to me is 2 out of 10 dinosaur feet. Shadow Storm Vizier. She can coil a breeze like a string around her finger, or twist it into a noose. What is that? Is she wearing like a high heel or something? Yeah, the feet are so hidden here, so obscured in the frame. Just not, you have to look for them. So to me, this is a little below middle of the road. This is going to be 4 out of 10 electrocuted feet. Shire Sheriff. You're arrested for gate breaking and tearing up of rules and trespassing and bribing guards with food. He's got that troll or whatever tied up really well. What's that, Hojo Jutsu or something like that? The word for, it's like, tying up, like, criminals or whatever. I don't know. Okay. Oh, I forgot to rank it. Okay, we're kind of getting double duty here because they're both barefoot and we see all 4 feet. They're kind of, they're not doing anything crazy, but I think the fact that we got 4 feet here and from 2 different species is kind of, you have to show some respect to that. So we will give that, I don't know, maybe this is a little too high, but I think this is worthy of a 7 out of 10. 7 out of 10. 7 out of 10 feet bound in rope. Here we have a big centipede thing. The skittering heartstopper. It flows like water over the forest floor, as deadly as the swiftest current. Okay, so you've got some feet there in the bottom left corner. I think of like a dead person, so that's kind of gross. We don't really care for dead feet, right? So, give this like but they're also there. They're pretty easy to see. I think this is like a middle of the road, just below it maybe. 4 out of 10. 4 out of 10 feet being nibbled on by a giant, monstrous centipede. Here we have Slaughter. Slaughter. Some sort of cat person fighting off like a vampire or a zombie or something. And we get the cat feet. So this is, again, if you're furry, you might like this one. You like the cat feet. And I'll give it, it's a pretty good depiction of feet. So I think to me this one is probably a 7 out of 10 cat claw covered feet. I like this one. The art here. Sling Gang Lieutenant. Freshly promoted to First Rock, Zaz was eager to make an impact. That's funny. Yeah, we've got the feet here, but it's kind of perfunctory. They're really not. They're not the center of the image at all. So I think this is just middle of the road. 5 out of 10 feet being hurled through the air. Here we have swift response. There's nothing quite as satisfying as delivering a good kick to the face. Adrastea, a Crowan captain. So I know a little bit about this set, or this setting, because while I don't play Magic the Gathering, I do play Dungeons and Dragons, and they released a Theros setting book. This card is from the Theros world, and I played a D&D campaign set in Theros. There's technically a foot in this. It's so far away. It's so tiny. I don't know. I mean, it is doing the kicking, so it's kind of a central figure in the image. Your eye is certainly drawn to the foot, but it's just so far away. It's hard to really value it highly. So I think this has to be 2 out of 10 feet kicking a Cyclops in the jaw. Terror. Okay. Well, feet are in this image, and they are being put into the mouths of a like a muscle body, a bone, just a skeleton, and a person. So you don't really see the feet very much, but they're being shoved into mouths, and that's got to count for something for some of you. For some of you nice people out there. So I'm giving this a 6 out of 10. 6 out of 10 feet being shoved into a skeleton's mouth. Thundering Giant. The giant was felt a few seconds before he was seen. Yeah, man, this is crazy. This is like highly detailed foot art here. All veiny and flexed. So this to me is like, I don't know, is it crazy to call this one a 10 out of 10? This is like prime foot art. I'm doing it. I'm giving it my first 10 out of 10. We have 10 out of 10 flexing vascular giant feet. Congratulations to the Thundering Giant for taking that honor. Here we have Worship, which is a bunch of people praying to like a giant dude. But it kind of looks like they're praying to his feet, which is what we're doing here, right? We're falling down and worshiping at the altar of souls and toes, and it's good foot art. But he's wearing sandals, so you got to take off a point or two for that. I think this is like a 6 out of 10 for the foot worship, right? 6 out of 10 foot worshippers. And there we have it. That is the end of the magic cards that I pulled for this. So, I hope you enjoyed our little rating of some Magic the Gathering feat. I'm very sorry I inflicted it on you. Nobody should ever watch this video, frankly. But hey, if you did stick around, let me know if you agree with my rankings. We can have some very long, in-depth debates in the comments, I'm sure, about, which toes and feet and so on should be ranked highly. Oh, you didn't consider the ankle enough. I'm like, well, hey, we all have our personal preferences, right? Maybe I value the toes a little more than I value the ankles. Anyway, thanks for watching. time, everybody.